Welcome back, everybody. Let's have a look at some of these coins then, shall we? We're going to look at Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP. So before I start, if you haven't watched the video I made yesterday I was talking about reasons that I believe that markets, including Bitcoin and crypto, most of crypto, has topped out at this level and is likely to come back down. Now, it was reasonably intricate, so I'm not going to repeat myself on all of those reasons, but if you didn't watch that video, go back and watch it, just at least the first 10 minutes of that video, and it explains the method behind my madness. And obviously yesterday we made the royal we meaning me, made the prediction that we were going to move up from this level where we were. So basically we were trading around these flat candles here. We were going to make a move up and then we're going to come back down again, and that's exactly what's happened. So it doesn't surprise me at all. It's exactly what I expected, and it's happened. So the question is now, besides everything that I said yesterday, in the very short term time frame, as in today, tomorrow, the next day, and maybe the next day after that, do I expect a further dump, or are we going to move up from this area? So let's have a look at that then, shall we? So at the moment we're testing and being supported on the 10 exponential, which is nice. It's good to see, but I don't believe that is enough to keep us above it, and it's all based around this indicator here, the money flow index. Okay, we had a sharp increase up, which led me to believe that there will be another move to the up, and then basically a correction as a result of that, and that's basically what we got. We got a very high read there, and to be honest with you, the price action hasn't been very dramatic at these levels. I mean, that isn't a massive increase, but the money flow index was. So when it reaches a certain height, generally it's usually more reliable than looking at an overextended RSI for a correction. Doesn't mean the correction is going to be big, but we went through it yesterday. On average, it was between 10 and 20% when we get to these reads, which is where we got. So are we going to have a 10 or 20% correction from this read now? As of today, or should I say yesterday, because basically that's where we topped out, we've only had just short of a 4%. So I do think that there's more to come. I think we are going to come down further. I think we're probably almost certainly going to come down to 10,500, which should only be 5%, 5.5%. We could come all the way down to finally fill the full amount of that CME gap, which would sound about right in all fairness for a money flow index read of that height, and then a correction thereafter. Remember, like I say, if you didn't watch the videos I made yesterday, then you won't remember, but in summary, we were looking at the Dixie, basically the dollar chart index, and we're looking at traditional markets and how they've been affected by the indecisions of the dollar. The dollar looks like it's bottoming out and it's not going to rally, for instance, but looks like it's not going to drop any further, which means that there'll be a slower growth when it comes to traditional markets and a slower growth with Bitcoin, meaning that, and with traditional markets it looks this way, that they have topped out for a minute. They have already corrected. The correction may be over for them at that. To be honest, it might be over. They've sunk down about 12% themselves. I'm talking about the Nasdaq and the S&P. But if they do go down any further, and the dollar does bounce any further than it is right now, then we're talking deeper corrections across the board, and those corrections hitting certain precursors, certain support levels, breaking them, and then I suppose getting more and more bearish. Basically, as people start to short, people haven't been shorting these assets for a while now, because they've just been going up. So it's been a bull market, basically, not a bear market. This could turn it into a bear market, even if it's just in the short term. So we're talking about, basically, are we entering a bear market? At the moment with Bitcoin, I wouldn't say we're entering a bear market at all, but a deeper correction could be on the cards, and that could bring us down to that CME gap. So we're talking 9,800 to 9,600 at the very full amount of that. 9,600 would be the entire CME gap completely filled, like from top to bottom, because it was about a $200 gap in there, and that would be, for the purists, they'd be happy with that. Technically it doesn't really need to do that, but this would be the bottom level, and that would bring us basically to about 14% drop from yesterday's high, not from where we are at right now. It would be more or less about 11% from where we are right now. So that's where we stand with Bitcoin, and that's like I say, my video yesterday, I still stand by that. That's my overall theory, and like I say, I've just summarised that for you. But if you do want to watch that, just go back and have a look. I'll leave a little link above my head somewhere. Right, so let's have a look at some of these other charts, shall we? So if my understanding is correct, and markets have topped out, there are certain assets on big ones, and I'm talking alts, are going to get absolutely smashed. They're going to be completely smashed if these two get smashed. We're talking about XRP and Ethereum especially, because Ethereum has had a huge run, a massive run in fact, and now it really doesn't look like it wants to run any further. If we look here, we've come all the way down beneath the 10 exponential moving average. So the bull trend, the bull momentum has been lost a while ago. We got rejected here. We did make it above for a little bit, and then we're breaking down from it again. So breakdowns from here could, and I've got shorts on this at the moment, I believe could take us all the way down to 300, which would be a 20% move from where we are right now. Going all the way down to 300 could obviously set off, more alarms for it to go down even further than that. So if we're looking at the 4 hourly here, it's not looking very good at all. We were almost ready to get our golden cross, and we've been, well, how do you what do you say? I mean, we've not been allowed to get the golden cross. Now, I haven't traded Ethereum in a while, but I've begun to short this now because it just does not look good. The divergence that's taking place here on the 4 hourly on the MACD is pretty aggressive. The fact that we've been cheated out of that golden cross will mean that a lot of people who are trying to who are looking to basically preempt that are basically being wrecked at the moment. Their longs are probably not going to fulfill. In fact, they're just going to drain away, I imagine. And like I say, I do expect this only to be a temporary bounce, but at the moment it's not looking good. The RSI just making lower lows and lower highs. The 4 hour doesn't look good. We'll move to a 12 hour to see how that looks, just to see if there's anything interesting on that. Well, actually, when we look at this, we see that all the moving averages are converging together, which is usually is a sign of volatility, incoming volatility, and that volatility I expect to be to the down. So yeah, we're going to get our cross here probably in the next couple of days beneath all major moving averages, and the lowest catch on here would be 333, and this big bearish cloud that we're entering now is just going to push us down even further. Ethereum doesn't look good, unfortunately. Doesn't look good, so this will be a nice short for me. I'm not saying you get involved in this, but for me, I'm planning on shorting this one, and pretty much only this one, because this one of the big alts looks like it's got the furthest to fall, and also high liquidity, so I like to short these big alts on Bybit usually. So that's Ethereum, not looking very good there. And XRP, even though it has been a relatively strong time for it in comparison to a lot of these other alts, obviously XRP is not really known for its strength, but it's definitely been strong around these levels. So bouncing around 23, or you could argue these moving averages being the 200 exponential and the 200 simple. And this is where we'll probably come down to when we break down. Breaking down beneath here would be significant and would basically be in a free fall until we probably base ourselves around this historical I suppose bull flag accumulation zone, and we're talking about 20 cent, 19.5 cent, 20 cent area. That's where we'll be looking to get a giant wick down to those levels. But again, it has shown strength at these levels here. So it'll be interesting to see if and when Bitcoin breaks down how far this will take it. Bouncing from here at less than a 5% move from where we are right now doesn't, to me, look like it wants to do that. And you can see how I've been rejected from the green 50 exponential here. That's not a good sign. This is all bearish. It looks very bearish to me. So again, this is another bearish chart here. We'll go to a 4 hourly, and I imagine we'll see the same kind of deal as Ethereum, but maybe not quite as aggressive. But yeah, we've got divergence playing out here beneath all major moving averages, and rejected basically from the 10 exponential. So not looking good on the 4 hour. Far away from a golden cross, and let's just check the 12 hourly just for fun, just to see how that's looking. Basically the same deal. You could argue being supported on the 200 exponential there, but and again, same as Ethereum, in the next couple of days on the 12 hourly we'll get that MACD cross. So again, across the board it's not looking great, but yeah, there is a glimmer of hope, which is Bitcoin looks like it wants to try and bounce and stay above the 10 exponential, which usually if we can stay above there, there's every hope that we will recover from there. But everything else is now telling me, not everything else, I mean the daily looks like it could obviously recover from this, but the smaller term time frames, which obviously lead into the longer term time frames, so we're talking 12 and 4 hourlies, don't look good. They look like they're gearing up for more downside, and you only get 3-4 hourlies in a 12 hourly and 2 12 hourlies in daily. So I'm expecting all this to play out over the next few days, and by the end of next week we will have had the move that I'm prophesizing, which is a not a massive dump, not a crash, but a deeper correction, basically into the lower 10,000s and maybe below that. But let's not go crazy. We've not yet hit our 10,500 bounce zone, so that would be a bounce zone. But until we hit that and see how that fares up, we can't really talk about lower corrections. But I would expect, if I had to say yay or nay, I would expect that we would fall down further than that, just from what I'm seeing at the moment. Overbought money flow index, basically, in a very high read. Lower term time frames looking pretty bearish at this point, with no signs of slowing down. So I think it'll take a few days into next week, but I think that the next big directional move is down, and I think the alts will be hit pretty hard, and Ethereum will be hit very hard. And that's all I've got to say about it. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you have had a nice weekend, and you're all ready for the next big week of trading, because it looks like it's going to be a big one. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Take it easy.